Hello everyone. Hello everyone. My name is Art. I'd like to welcome you to another video. It is now 3:30 in the morning. Saturday morning at 3:30 in the morning. Sunday night. So you're probably wondering, why am I up at 3:30 in the morning? Well, for some strange reason my body is doing some weird stuff. Your body gets into weird patterns where you're super tired by 8, about 8, between 8 and 10 o'clock, you're super tired, so you go to sleep about 11, and you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning for no apparent reason. And I'm wide awake. Now, what's going to happen is that about everything's going to be like this until probably maybe like 4, hopefully within an hour or so, or 5ish, and I'll be right back to sleep, and I'll probably be up around about 8. Well, since I don't have to work, that's fine. Man, I was what I know. I know I'm yawning now, but I just try to go back to sleep and I can't. But anyway, I want to give a shout out to Dynamite Kid 100 because this dude has the sharpest workout gear I've ever seen. This shirt right here, I usually wear this shirt when I work out. But since the gym is closed, I wear it to go to sleep because it's summer. And this shirt, I had this shirt for probably maybe 10 years maybe. It's a little bit short on me, but I had this shirt right here, this tank, for like 10 years. The majority of my workout gear I had for 10 plus years. The funny thing is that I still have two Under Armour shirts. When Under Armour first came out, I bought 2 shirts and 2 pairs of shorts, which I still got both of them. Imagine that. But anyway, they didn't shrink on me, but this one did. But that's okay. Well, what I want to talk about today is that I read some books. This year, in 2020, I said I was going to read one graphic novel a week, which basically is 52 books this year. Thanks to COVID-19, okay, I got way off track. I'm probably like 10 books behind. Yeah, I'm probably about at least good 10 books behind. So maybe, possibly. I don't know. I lost count, but I'll just say 10 books behind. Plus, I have like 40 to 50 regular comic books I gotta read too. Whew. Hopefully, this video makes me go to sleep. But anyway, so let's talk about it. The first book I want to talk about is Green Lantern. This is Green Lantern Volume 3 of the New 52 era. Quick recap. DC Comics was lagging in sales, so they had an idea of, let's reboot our whole universe. And then all the old stories, it still exists. So they created this thing called Flashpoint from the Flash, which the Flash accidentally breaks time and creates a pocket dimension, and the New 52 exists. People didn't like that, so then so the regular universe came back, and so to justify it a bit, they decided to create this thing called Doomsday Clock, which they have the rights to the Watchmen, in which if you've ever seen the movie Watchmen, there's a blue guy, Dr. Manhattan. He created his own. In one of the scenes of the movie, he said, I want to see if I can create my own universe. And he created the universe, the New 52. Now, one of the things about the New 52 was about they want to do diversity. So what happens, they kind of gender swap people, ethnic swap people, and the like. one of the good things, they elevated Cyborg from Teen Titans to the Justice League. Hence, the Justice League movie was Cyborg, because Cyborg is usually a Teen Titan. And they did a whole bunch of other things. They created a Kid Flash. Yeah, Kid Flash instead of white, now he's black. Which kind of helps with the TV show The Flash. So, sort of things like that happen. But anyway, this one right here, this is the volume 3. I read 1 and 2 of Green Lantern. And I'm usually a good Green Lantern fan. And this is the Bane guys right here. Okay, of course, Hal Jordan, the first modern Green Lantern, because the original Green Lantern had a Green Lantern that was based off of magic. His ring was based off of magic. In the 50s, they said, scratch that. Let's make it science fiction. So the Green Lantern is not just one person. It's basically a bunch of space cops with weapons of mass destruction. The ring. The ring allows you to do whatever the hell you want to do within reasons. So, of course, Hal Jordan was the first one. Then in the 70s, John Stewart comes along during the blaxploitation era. And, Hal Jordan's from the Air Force. John Stewart's from the Marines. Then Guy Gardner comes out. He was a cop. And then Kyle Reiner comes up. He was an artist. After the Parallax and Emerald Dawn storyline. And then there's this new guy named Simon Bass, who is Arab American. As part of the diversity, it's easier for them to do something like this with Green Lantern because anybody can be a Green Lantern. One of the new Green Lanterns is Hispanic. She is Hispanic. So now you got a whole conundrum of people. So what happened is that Hal Jordan and his arch enemy Sinestro somehow dies and gets put in this pocket dimension. The ring goes to this guy named Simon Bass, who is a thief. He was an engineer who lost his job, and to get by, he steals cars and drag races and stuff like that. And he's labeled a terrorist because he stole a car. He stole a van that had a bomb in it. And so now he's labeled a terrorist. Now the funny thing is, the guy who wrote this name is Jeff Johns right here. He's from Michigan, where I live, from Dearborn, Michigan, which is so far in America is still the greatest concentration of Arab Americans in the United States. And the thing is that he used actual locations in this book that I know. That's how funny it is. One time they was talking about a bank on Telegraph and Ford Road. Now the thing is, on Telegraph and Ford, there's 2 banks. One bank is the Bank of America, which I bank at, which I go to sometimes, and another bank is some other credit union kind of thing, or 2 or 3 of them. So it was kind of funny. And the funny thing is, this guy right here, he has the most powerful weapon in the universe. He's carrying a gun, because in his mind, if the ring goes out of power, at least he has his gun. And then after a while, he ditches the gun. And now this storyline was supposed to be the end of the Green Lantern Corps, which didn't make sense to me. I think what happened, they did this because they was about to go through the DC Rebirth phase, which means that the original people come back, and of course Simon Bass is still part of the new continuity because of this. But that's fine. It was a pretty decent book. It took me a while to digest a lot of this because there was a lot of going on in here. And if you're not familiar with Green Lantern or the mythos of Green Lantern, especially when Jeff Johns created it, he took it way out there. And which is kind of cool because now all of a sudden, now you got green lanterns, you got red lanterns, you got yellow lanterns, blue lanterns, black lanterns. All represent different spectrums of the emotional spectrum. And the black lanterns are deaf, which means they're all dead. They're corpses of zombies. So if you're not familiar with all that, this will make you will get definitely lost in this. But at least, since I read a book years ago called The Blackest Night, which where all the dead got revived by the Black Lanterns and start trying to kill the living, I kind of understood it a little bit. But this is kind of like an ending. But you know, was it a good book? It was a pretty decent book. Let's just put it that way. Matter of fact, I just think about it. These are all DC books. Okay. This one's the New 52, Batman and Robin. Okay. And this, of course, the volume 1 is Born to Kill. Now, this book right here is a very interesting book. Because right here you see Batman, which is Bruce Wayne, and this is the new Robin, Damian Wayne. Now, supposedly right now, if I understand it correctly, Damian Wayne died. So, I'm guessing that's what's going on right now. Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, since I don't really read DC or Batman that much, I don't really know the whole scenarios. That's what I've heard, but I doubt it because I bought a book, which he was in it. So, I don't know. This story was very, very good. This has a very, very good story in which he's trying to connect with his son. If you've seen the animated movie Batman and Son, which they introduced him, where Talia al Ghul, which is Ra's al Ghul, one of the big main Batman villains, this is his grandson. He's trained to be an assassin. And so what happened is something happened with him, so the mother decided to bring him to his father to train. So he's trying to deprogram him from his assassin ways to a Robin. And of course, it's not the best because he's Damian Wayne, which is kind of funny because he wants to kill things. His idea is that bad guys, kill them, don't have to worry about it anymore. But of course, that goes against Batman's code of not killing. In this book, he comes very close to breaking that code because it brings another part of his backstory, which before he became Batman, he trained with this one guy and his father to be manhunters and assassins and kind of stuff, but of course Bruce Wayne never kills. And the guy, he calls himself Nobody. And his idea is every Batman related person, he kills them. So he's killing every single one. Of course, he realized that Bruce Wayne's Batman, so he's going after Batman. So what happened was he tries to seduce Robin to his side, which is funny. The animated movie Batman and Son, or Batman versus Robin, they use this as a basis, which Robin has to actually fight Batman, but Robin deep fakes this guy Nobody, thinking he's going to join him, but he was luring him to so he can get Batman to take care of him. He's not going to turn against his own father, and that's the funny thing about it. But other than that, it was pretty cool. One of the good things about this story was it talks about the Joker, and another part was to try to teach him humility. He buys him a dog, in which he has to learn to be responsible. But then again, what happened is Robin is the person who actually kills instead of Batman, and he has to live with that because all of a sudden he never really killed anybody before, but he's trained to kill, but he never really killed anybody. So he kills this guy Nobody. Yes, I know, I'm telling you the story. But guess what? Unless you're going to read it, you're not going to work. It doesn't really matter. But this one is, it was pretty cool. I was reading the majority of this. I was reading the majority of this when I was at the laundromat a couple weeks ago. You know, because at the laundromat you have an hour and a half to kill, and instead of me driving back and forth home, you know, I just say, okay, I'll sit there and read. But that's cool. Yeah. Don't worry about the yawning, because guess what? I can't sleep. I tried. This next one is really good. Detective Comics, the granddaddy in the New 52 era, of course. This is, of course, is called Faces of Death. And of course, look at this. You see the Joker. So naturally, this is a Joker-centered story. And what happened is this time the Joker decides to do something different. He always tries to push Batman to become the villain. He always tries to. He always tries to. And let's just say he does some really, really nasty things, which I'm not going to really explain too much, but it became a big story in the New 52 era. It became a big storyline, which I'll wrap up in the next book. But what happened is mostly between Batman and the Penguin. Of course, the Penguin is he's a villain and he's a gangster. So naturally, it's between them two. And let's see, can I show you one thing? The one thing about the graphic novels, sometimes they put extra things in, like the variant covers. They put like variant covers in here. Sometimes backup stories, because there's a backup story in here, which is a pretty unique story. I read majority of this while I was waiting for my tire to be changed. I was waiting for my tire to be changed. So now what happened was, of course, he captures the Joker. In the mess of this, he captured the Joker, and the Joker did the most insane thing ever. Which I'm going to stop talking about this book. This is a very good book, by the way. It's written and drawn by Tony Daniel. He's renowned. He's really good at He's really good. He's a really good artist. The artwork is really good. He's a really good writer too. So he did a good portion of the quest for the cowl, or the battle for the cowl, when Batman supposedly died, and he did part of that storyline, and it was still renowned. The last book in the New 52 era is called Death of the Family. Now, I want you to take a look at this picture. Now, remember what I said? The Joker does something incredibly off the wall crazy. You might be thinking, what the hell's that? He cuts his face off. He has someone surgically remove his face, and he mails it to the Jeep. And he puts it to a wall. So he's walking around with no face for a good portion of time. Crazy. When I heard about that, I was like, no way, no. Joe wouldn't be that crazy. Damn, he was. This is written by Scott Snyder, which is one of the best Batman writers of today. Drawn by Craig Capullo, who was renowned for his Spawn work. So basically what happened is that he pushes Batman to the limit. He comes back. He disappears for a year. Comes back. goes to the police station and takes his face back and kills a whole bunch of cops at the same time. How? But it's the Joker. So in order to put his face together, he had to tie his face on his face, and he puts Batman through this ringer, which where you thinking that he may know his secret identity, because one of the things is that out of most Batman villains, Bane knows his secret identity. Most people can't figure it out, and everybody was wondering, does Joker actually knows, or does he actually cares? So one of the things that he throws a lot of red herrings, where he kidnaps Alfred, which is Batman's butler and Bruce Wayne's butler, and so it throws the whole cast. Now why it says death of the family? The Batman family is considered a family, even though they're dysfunctional. They're a family. You got Batman, you got Robin, you got Nightwing, Red Robin, Batgirl, Red Hood. They're considered the core family. Then you got other Batman-related characters, which is called Batman Inc. And so what happens? He pushes it to the limit to where Batman, of course, he always takes control, and he always says, "I do this myself," which pushes everybody away from him. That's why I say death of the family. Because what happens after this, the Batman family is not that tight anymore. One good thing about it is that he deep fakes all the main villains, from Two-Face, Penguin, and the Riddler. And it's the way how this is drawn is so freaking creepy. Let me see if I can show you a picture. Now, I do recommend this book. Those last two books I do recommend, because it is creepy as all hell. It's creepy, and it's something that you think the Joker would never do, and he does. Like, for example, look, see, this is some sketches. Imagine that. Imagine surgically removing your face. And what happened is, somehow after their battle, this face part disappears, and this other person who calls herself the Joker's daughter, takes the face and wraps it around herself and wears it for a while, which is even creepier, because you was wondering if that's actually Joker's actual kin blood. I mean, like I said, I was doing laundry the other day, and I was reading this, and I was just riveted. I mean, I was just like, oh man, my laundry was almost done. I was like, I don't want to stop reading this. This is a very disturbing book. Not much freaks me out, but this one kind of did. And it's a good kind of freak out. Each of these books are about $16, and I believe I actually paid full price for these. So I didn't get a deal on these at all. I paid full price at the local store, because at the New 52, after it ended, I didn't want to collect the actual comics, so I wanted to collect the book, the graphic novels, because it's easier for me to get. Plus, 6 to 7 issues for $16. It's cheaper than buying each of these for $4 a piece, which would have been like $28. Plus it gives you like basic variant, and touches, get variant sketches and stuff like that of covers and alternative pages and stuff like that. So those four. See, the Green Lantern book is okay. I would suggest you read. So basically, the last thing I'm going to do for tonight, if you want to delve into the Green Lantern, I suggest you don't start off with this part one. Read something else first to gradually get in, because unless you know the backstory of the Green Lanterns, or at least a little bit of the backstory, you'll get lost in the sauce. These three Batman, highly recommended. These are some of the best Batman stories I've read in 10 years. And the funny thing is, the stuff I'm reading right now from Batman is decent compared to this. But the Joker War that's going on right now is supposed to be the hottest thing ever for the last couple of years. So, other than that, thanks for spending almost half an hour. It should be almost 4 o'clock in the morning by now. Yeah, it's almost 4. It's almost 4 in the morning, and I don't feel like sleeping. Imagine that. So I guess I'm gonna watch some YouTube in order to make me fall asleep. Hopefully. But other than that, I hope you have a great day today or tonight, or whatever you want, day or night, whenever you're watching it. And I hope that you take care of yourselves and watch out for other people. And I really don't know how to end this, but bye.